Good evening. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Monday, February 9th, 2026. Well, my friends, we have a lot of data tomorrow. We didn't have basically anything at all today coming out, but tomorrow is where everything starts hitting up. You're going to get the National Federation of Independent Business, their January Business Optimism Index. That comes out 5 in the morning. I'll be up. I don't know about you. U.S. advanced retail sales for December. Well, that'll be released at 7:30 a.m. The December import-export price data will come out at 7:30. The fourth quarter employment cost index, that'll be out at 7:30 as well. At 9, we get the November business inventory data. We get at 3:30 in the afternoon the API numbers. So there's a lot coming out, and we have more. There's a lot of jobs data about to roll out, so we're going to be getting quite a bit of information this week. In terms of the markets, it was a good up day. Nasdaq was able to put together two winners in a row now, but I warn you, Monday ups often lead to a Tuesday attempt at a decline. So we'll see if that's going to be the case right now. You saw GM was down, Ford was down. As I step over here with you, Google came back up a little bit. What's been getting beaten up, of course, was Microsoft, and early on I saw them doing better. And as you could see, Restoration Hardware, Home Depot, Apple, we're looking at Netflix, Amazon, they all got pretty well beaten up today. So if they're down today, maybe they're up tomorrow, but the indexes are what generally Yale-Hirsch was coming up with that rule on, and we'll see if it still holds up the way that it used to. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that is in fact the case. So as we look at all this, why don't we just go to the chart action and see what we have. I've decided to go to the software market, and the reason it's been beaten up so much by Anthropic, why not take a look and see what it's offering right here? I think that's important. And you could see how the market has been just beaten up to $80. This is a market that was pushing 120, and that 120 push isn't far ago. That 120 was in October, and now the market has fallen basically a third. Are we going to see anybody trying to pick it up here? Wouldn't surprise me if you do. You've got lower highs, lower lows. The trend is still down. The market's well under all the key averages. When you got the bearish crossover, when finally the 18-day right here got underneath the 200-day average, the market just locked and loaded to the downside. Where's the support? Well, you can't count the Bollinger Band as support because once the Gorilla Glue trade kicks in, it's a question of when it gets away from it. And for me, you have to get away from it 2 days in a row, like it's done, and that's often a sign the market is overdone on the downside in a big way. You can see the slow stochastic. It's probably going to lose its embedded reading tomorrow. If it does, before prices get back under this low, you might make a run at wherever the 18-day average of closes is. When we look at Caterpillar, it's just a nonstop to the upside. It keeps going. It's very close. It needs one more day to embed, and then on breaks, the market will find even a more aggressive crowd waiting for it until that reading is lost, in my opinion. Hershey Company. Same thing. Look at how this cocoa, the sugar lovers came out of nowhere, and this market is doing really well. So what the consumers are spending on, obviously Hershey has. When we look at Apple, it's ahead of itself a little bit. Is it going to lose the embedded reading? So far, no. I think the pros bought today. And they'll probably say, I'm out if you lose the embedded reading. And if it goes up, maybe the 281.5 zone's the resistance again. In ET, energy transfer, still want to watch it. All I've been looking for in a correction, like I was looking in the US dollar and the euro FXE, was on the FXE to pull back to the 18-day average for support. This is just like that. Now it's got to prove if it can do anything from here. So I think we're at a very interesting area. In Alphabet, you can see how the markets come back, challenging the lower Bollinger Band 4 days in a row. Markets got momentum down, the trend down, but I wouldn't be pressing on the short side of those Bollinger Bands. You only stay out of them 5% of the time. When I look at Rivian, here too, you lost the bearish embedded reading. So before the market makes a run for this low, the odds favor price and the 18-day average will come together. Right now, they're no more than, 90 cents or so apart. So I'm not looking for a big move out of it, just a small little bounce. In Joby Aviation, if you lose the embedded reading, this has fallen from the 16 level and gone down in half in price. You can get a $3-4 rally out of this if that loses the embedded reading. We'll see if it tries to do it. Then we go to the big boys, the big banks, the financial sector. And it wouldn't surprise me if the market wants to pull back and test the support it has, 53.66 to 60. The market is not overbought. It's got a reading of 69. It's close, but on a pullback, it'll lose some of that reading. So I do look for the big boys to try to buy it there. I think they'll blow out if the market gets under this low right here. But barring that, they'll still say the market looks good. In industrial sector, look at how you're over the upper Bollinger Band. You're embedding now. So this market is just saying, I'm good, and we've seen it with Caterpillar and other companies like that. XLE, what I've been telling my clients to stay away from is the short side of energies. I looked over the weekend, and what I said then, I'm going to say again. There's probably a short fuse to President Trump's waiting on Iran. Iran keeps trying to dictate terms, and they're not in a position to dictate terms. And what the president will do is what he said. If they try to do anything nuclear, he'll take out wherever they're at. But they have plenty of military sites, and that is the question. Netanyahu is arriving from Israel, and you don't think they're just going to have tea and crumpets, do you? I don't think so. I think there's going to be talk about what to do here, because Iran isn't coming to the table. They keep saying that we're the ones not. That there's nothing, I guess it plays to their audience well. Higher lows, higher highs, and as you could see, upper Bollinger Band, you just don't want to play that. Gold getting the bid again. I still look for the support back here in the 452 level. Momentum's just trying to turn back up. So that's going hand in hand with my thoughts there. Walmart came up. It's fighting the band. It could fall back here at any point. It's fighting right now to just keep going. It might be worn a little bit out. I could see it wanting to pull back. Microsoft, as I told you earlier, it's still with an embedded reading. Until it loses that reading, this 1-2 day bounce has got to prove that it can do more than that. The fact that it moved away from the Bollinger Band this much isn't a bad sign. That's a good sign, but only if you lose the embedded reading with it. If you don't, it gets sold on that sign. BND, as you can see, the market just sitting here, hovering at the 18-day average of closes. The pattern is still lower highs, lower lows, and this is a bounce in it. And in the dollar, I'm giving myself a gold star. I kept saying down here, I think it's now going to be able to get back to the 18-day average, but I'm looking for a failure at it. That's exactly what you got in this market now. So you put it all together, you see that you bounced from the low here in FXE. When I look at all this, I just go, whoa, opportunities and trading affairs happening, and not as crazy as it was just recently, unless you're a metal trader, and it's still wild in the metal market. Now, one of the things that I do for you in these particular markets is if you're a subscriber to my morning videos, I cover 40 some odd charts, and I ask you, like I'm asking right now, hey, tell me what you want me to cover this next day or two. And that's what I'm saying to you. Just write me on the YouTube channel. You can send it to me at Epstein at Linn, Linn, LLC.com. And I look at everything, and if they make sense, I start covering them, give you a few days of that. These are our different videos that come out with it. And you really get, from beginning to end, me looking at the markets, both on a daily, weekly basis, coming up with trade ideas, stops on the ideas, profit objectives, holding on the longer term trades. We have some trades on now 2 years. So that's how it works. In the video, we've been in for a very, very long time. Just go to our website, give us a call. We'll take it the rest of the way. I'm Ira. You have a good day. The icons that you can click on will be right at the top here. Give them a click. Take care.